to the Indonesians.
Yeah. Now, along the journey, you were attacked by Allied aircraft?
Yeah. That was just out of Milmean. We were going into Milmean, and the day before we got in there, these bombers came over, and I must say that the skipper of the ship that we were on was pretty proficient, because he dodged the bombs. He was quite good, particularly for an old rust bucket that he had. He did very well, thank goodness. Otherwise we could have been a lot more, could have had a lot of casualties. But one of the indicators as to the extent of the problems of the ship was that when these bombs were dropping, we were told, we were down in the hold and told, you know, get down and stay down. And quite a few people got shrapnel in their heels, and that was where shrapnel was coming straight through the sides of the ship. And of course it was only minute things, but enough to burn the daylights out of you, and enough to cause a problem. But the ships were really, when I say rust buckets, that's what they were.
Yes. Now, how many vessels were in that convoy?
There were three vessels that had prisoners on, and the one that was sunk, that had Japanese troops on board as well. But we were escorted by something about the size of a minesweeper. So while he had eyes there and had a radio, there wasn't much we could do. But there were provisional plans for the, in the event of the ship being sunk or the opportunity occurring, that we would have a go at taking over the ship and off to Colombo. But that never occurred, of course.
Well, you said you were going into Milmean when this happened, but where did you finally land?
Milmean. And we were only in Milmean for, what, a day and a half, I guess. We were in the jail at Milmean, and then the following day loaded onto a train and taken to Tambazad.
So around what month did you arrive in Tambazad?
Well, that would have been, well actually it was, we went to Tambazad. Hang on, was that, no, that wasn't in a train, that was in trucks. Because they took us straight up to the 18 kilo camp.
Yes.
That's where we started our odyssey up there.
Now, which force were you part of when you were on the line?
It was called the Java 5A. That's,
so it was called Black Force, was it? Or
no, it was just Java 5A.
Yes. And who was the senior officer?
Major Robertson. He was an engineer, and also there was his 2IC was Key. No, he was a captain in the 2nd, 3rd machine gunners. Who took an awful lot of bad treatment from the Japs, and finished up with a what do you call it? More or less a facial tic and that sort of thing.
Oh, yes. Some sort of paralysis or something, was it?
Yes, it was sort of a minor paralysis, and he was beaten up pretty badly on several occasions.
Yes.
He stood up to them very strongly.
Did you have a medical officer allocated to the group?
Oh yes, we had Lumpkin.
Oh.
What's his name?
Well, I don't know the Christian name. He was the American, wasn't he?
Yes, the American. And the other, there was two doctors there. One was Lumpkin. He came from the artillery unit, and Dr. Epstein.
Yes.
From off the Houston.
Commander Epstein.
Yeah.
And tell me, how did the groups work? Did they leapfrog down the
down the
track?
line? Yeah. Yes, we leapfrogged. There was we started at 18. There was a group on 30, and I think there was a group on 35, and then one of those groups went up to 50, went up to 55, and we went up to 85, and then eventually came back to 80, and then those other groups went to 105. Yes, it went up to 105, and some of that crew then went back and became the track laying gang. They were sort of mobile the whole way. They were did the laid the tracks for the rails.
Yes. Now, what would you say about your, or what was your accommodation like at these various camps? Did you have to build your accommodation, or was it already there?
No, it was already there. We lived in these bamboo huts the whole time. Anywhere else but in the tropics we would have frozen to death, but in the tropics, of course, cold isn't a great problem. And of course clothing wasn't a tremendous worry as far as we were concerned. You got sunburnt during the day, but it was such that when you had a wash next time, it'd wash off. You know, it wasn't burn like we get burnt with the sun down here. Didn't seem to have any of that real burning effect.
Were there many British on the Burma end of the line?
There were some, but as I remember it, not a great number.
What about Dutch? Were there many Dutch?
Yes, there were quite a lot of, there were quite a lot of Dutch with us, and there were some in one of the other camps, but how many I couldn't